Okay, welcome back. And I hope by now you have downloaded PacketTracer and you're ready to run it. And if you do, don't forget to log in. In my case, I have already done so. And as you can see, I'm going to move my mouse to the icon right here, and it shows I have PacketTracer version 7.3. So I'm going to click on that. Okay. And what I have now is what we call the logical view. This is the default view right away that is offered to me to go ahead and put devices, network them, and then we can do some analysis either in real time or in simulations. As you can see, I have a couple buttons here that allow me to do a few things. We will see this throughout our course and how to use one or the other. Okay. So again, I am in a logical view right now. Okay. What does that mean? That means I can logically put some computers regardless of where they might be physically. So it is basically a drawing board where I can put my computers, my networking devices, my connections. Let's do a quick example of that. So as you can see here, I have categories, and within those categories of devices, I'm going to have groups. So if I click here where I have either networking devices or end devices, let's click on end devices. Notice I have within that groups, okay? I am going to go for the group that has computers or IP-based devices, such as your laptop, your computer, a server, okay? Notice you even have an IP printer, an IP phone, etc. Okay, including a TV. Okay, so let's say I pick a computer by clicking on it, and then go to your workspace here in the logical view and just release. Okay, or you can click here. You get your PC right here. Prior to that, I had another PC that I deleted. So you can actually delete this if you don't want it here. You can go back here and click on delete right here where you have an X. Okay? And then bring your mouse here and that will remove it. Let's bring the PC again and put it in. And notice every time it remembers really in sequence which one it's supposed to be putting in here. This does not matter. If it put PC 3 or 20, it's up to you later on to rename it anything you want. And notice as I'm hovering my mouse on it, it's giving me some characteristics of this computer. Since this course will be about networking and this simulator is about networking, those are the parameters that I'm getting. It's giving me the MAC address of this device. It's also telling me that the IP version 4 and IP version 6 addresses are not set for the Ethernet or the Bluetooth for this device. And let me show you here some more. Nothing is set on it. Okay. So that's fine. Can we do the same with a server? So let me just get a server here. Okay. And I have done nothing also with the server, but it has its own. The only thing that it has its own MAC address, which we call the physical address. Okay. All right. So I have these two devices. Can I connect them? And the answer is yes. And since they're like devices, they're layer 3 devices, you're going to take a crossover. You're going to go from here. You're going to click here. And notice the ports that I'm offered. I'm going to pick Fast Ethernet and go to Fast Ethernet here. You can see I have green dots here, which means this is probably the proper cable for these connections. I haven't set these computers to talk to each other yet. That is not the objective for this lab right now, but we can see that in the logical view, we can have devices connected, and then we can configure them. Okay, so let's suppose I wanted to configure the computer to have some sort of an identification, logical identification, as far as its IP address. You click on the computer and notice the window you're going to get. This is the same thing if you clicked on the server as well. So let me click on the server. You get the same thing. And not only that, let me make this a little bigger here. you could see the back of the server here, how it looks like physically as a picture. You can see that it's on right here. The light is on. Okay. And let's go to the computer and do the same thing and see. And you can see also that you have a desktop. It looks like a tower and it's on. So you can actually turn it on or turn it off. Okay. And within the desktop, you can go to the command prompt. And right here, you could see a typical command prompt where I am on the C drive, right? So as you can see, and I could do a dir. So these are DOS commands that you can run right away from here. Okay, so this is a lot of fun. So think of these as actual computers that you can interact with and run some commands. So for example, let me go back here and go to the command prompt here. And for example, type something like ping 192.168.10.1. Now, there is no such device right now configured with that address. Obviously, I am going to fail at retrieving anything, but it is actually running the ICMP message protocol, but it's, as you can see, it's timing out, which is exactly what it would do in real world. If your computers are not configured and your network is not configured, okay? So that's from a logical point of view. You also have a window for the physical point of view. As you can see here, you have a home city, you have a map, literally a map here, and we can log in, zoom in down to corporate office, and notice our PC is right here, PC3, and it's connected to some sort of a closet. Well, let's click on the closet and see what's in it. And notice I have a server on a rack. Okay? This is neat. You can, and here's the cable right here. So you can actually take out the Ethernet and plug it back in. So you can physically do this as if you're in the lab. Okay? That is one major improvement this version of PacketTracer has over its predecessors. So I hope to see you next, where we're going to do our first lab